What's up, everyone? This is the Next Tape podcast with Mikel
And Tanyka.
where we have conversations on different topics. So today we have unique topics to talk about today, Tanyka. So what are those topics that we're going to be talking about on today's bonus episode?
So today we're going to be just kind of talking about kind of how slang has kind of evolved from kind of our generation, the millennial generation, and Gen Z or to Gen Z. We're going to be kind of talking about Marvel kind of maybe going through some tough times, having to lay off some people. And then we're also going to talk about Peel Police making an arrest with respect to a gold heist that happened here in Ontario.
Okay, let's get on with this episode.
Okay. So yeah, our first topic, slang. Now, as we know, us as kids into teenage years, we had our slang that's not like cool anymore. And now we have new slang that I don't know about you, but for me, sometimes I'm like, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. So we're kind of having this evolution of slang kind of happening, and we're going to talk about it. So think about this. When was the last time as millennials, let's say, has heard YOLO? I mean, I still say YOLO sometimes.
Yeah, YOLO's a thing. I think YOLO
It's
is,
not a thing as much anymore. It was a
I
thing.
think it's shared between both millennials and Gen Z. That word, in a way,
I
'cause it
would
was born.
disagree.
It was born around. I think Drake started saying it.
Well, Drake's been around for a long time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I remember YOLO being bigger, like a bigger thing that people said when I was in college. And yikes, that was over 10 years ago. So it's not as big of a thing today
Mm-hmm.
as it was like 10 years ago. That's a,
Yeah, it was,
I will still like, I say it, but it's not something that people's, like, I know, like my brother, like I think I said that one time in front of him, and again, he's a Gen Zer. He was like, no one says that anymore. Like, seriously, it's what he said to me. So no one says that anymore, really. I think it's our generation that maybe still says it, but it is not popular anymore. It's not hip anymore. Or maybe saying the bomb. Definitely don't hear that anymore. No one says that anymore. Or tubular, which is definitely something I never said, but it was more something you heard like in the 90s and maybe early aughts.
Yeah.
You don't hear that anymore either.
Low key. Everybody said low key. Everybody still says that word.
I think low key is still something. Yeah. Either it's low key or down low. I keep it on down low, but I think that's still pretty.
No,
people say,
before low key.
Is low key new?
Yeah, still a thing. Yeah, it's still a thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a younger coworker who's Gen Z that says low key. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't really say stuff like that anymore. Like, probably did, like, when it mattered, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't personally say that anymore, but yeah, low key. I think low key is kind of more of the newer version of keep it on the down low.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, because it kind of is pretty much the same meaning. It's just like it's a little.
Yeah.
Obviously, you say it differently. Social media. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No. If you're something else, go ahead, because I'm moving forward.
So basically, shook and salty.
What the hell is that?
Shook?
Oh, shook, yes.
You're shook.
What the? Yeah, shook, yes. Actually, if anything, I don't say shook, I say shooketh. That's what I say. I'm not saying everyone else does, but that's what I'm saying. I say I'm just shooketh. Um, salty, I don't know. I guess that would be considered slang, but it's just when I hear someone say, "Oh, salty," or "you're salty," or whatever, it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like a slang word. Does that make sense? But that's for me. Like I don't know. I guess it technically would be considered slang.
You're so yeah, you're so salty. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Things like that and like terms like that when you're someone's like, hating on somebody or, you're technically angry as well. But yeah.
Yeah. No, I know, but I guess I just never considered salty because I feel like I guess yeah, if I'm saying like technically it's probably slang, but I just never seen someone's because if I see like older people saying salty who maybe won't necessarily use slang in their verbiage, then that's kind of why I'm like, is it really slang? But probably yes, it is. It's just I never really say salty as slang, but that's just me. But anyway.
Right. Go on. What do you want to say?
Social media has made it even harder to keep up with the trends, as anyone and everyone can share and adopt others' use of language.
Yeah.
So John, I think it's Baugh or Bach, he's a linguistic in at Washington University. He told Business Insider last year, quote, even though slang has always existed, the emergence of social media has created a situation where the potential for slang virality has increased. While this can be an exciting opportunity for people to connect and bond over language, one major issue is also appropriation. It's been a huge thing when it comes to saying certain things that are considered slang and not necessarily understanding where that comes from, whether it be the Black community, even the LGBT
Mhm.
community as well. So it's just not understanding kind of like where that's coming from.
You can go back in the 60s, the hit piece as well.
Yes.
Hippies, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's not so much about the time that it came from, but
Mm-hmm.
more so where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but many of the slang words attributed to Gen Z, defined by the Pew Research Center as anyone born between, as we know, 1997 and 2012, were
Mm-hmm.
created by members of marginalized communities, as I just mentioned, but most notably the Black and LGBTQ plus communities, which often aren't credited for their contributions. The language is shared online in circles of people who understand its nuance, and it's later appropriated by those who don't know where it came from or fully understand how to use it.
Right.
And it's easy for those who created it to see when it's being used incorrectly.
Mm-hmm.
Brands or publications trying to attract attention from Gen Z therefore need to take care when using slang. At best, they could make a cringy mistake. At worst, they could
Yeah.
potentially offend somebody. So, Gen Z values authenticity more than older generations did. I
Mm-hmm.
would agree to that. Chad Kelser, who was in the global brand president at American Eagle, told BI in 2019 Gen Z wants to support and participate in brands that they believe in and that reflect them. He added they are loyal to brands that they feel understand them and reflect their values. So as slang continues to evolve daily in a person and on the internet, all these words and phrases are subject to their respective ends when they're asked from publicly use and deemed uncool. So that's exactly it. Like you'll have something kind of come up and then you might get used to that slang and then in 2 seconds it's like that's not cool anymore. Like I
Yeah.
kind of remember kind of saying like Like I'm not sure exactly. It's probably was like on the cusp of millennial and Gen Z.
Yeah.
But I remember back in what 2015 that
Mhm.
it was like the cool thing to say on fleek, and then within like months, it's like, no, that's not cool anymore. You just say on point, and it's like, so like, why are we just saying that the whole time? Like, because that's what on fleek meant. It was on point. So it's just like it can be so quickly
I,
changed.
yeah, I remember when people were saying on point all the time. Now it's not like I don't know if I'm just not around the people that I'm not around, but it's not a thing anymore.
No,
Um,
and on fleek was something that was very short-lived.
see, I never
That,
heard that one. That
oh
one is
no, you never heard on fleek?
uh,
Yeah, on fleek was basically on point. That's what it meant.
yeah,
Um, but it was very short-lived. Very
yeah.
short-lived, yeah.
That's probably why it
There
doesn't
there
sound
is a
good.
song. No, it was fine. Like people like it wasn't like it didn't sound good. There's
Mhm.
also a song out there called On Fleek by
Mhm.
Alkaline as well. So it wasn't that it sounded bad. It's just like it's not cool anymore. So that's
Right.
all it was. Um, and again, it was like if you're just gonna end up using what On Fleek was meant to be used anyways as,
Right.
then why don't we just start off there anyways? But nonetheless.
Yeah.
Um,
And also usually a lot of like, the slang gets to like, gets so viral to the point that it can become like a brand thing or a brand deal can like, a brand can just like, sponsor it or, you can put it on a t-shirt and it will probably sell. This new one that everybody will know is you remember the girl that like I think like a couple months ago that was on a video, got asked a question about certain thing and what she does, and then it just went viral, and I
no.
guess
Honestly, I'll be totally honest. If
mm,
it's like
mm,
a TikTok thing or a TikTok
yes,
trend, or like again, we
yeah,
have a TikTok. I have a TikTok from my podcast as well. I
yeah,
wouldn't be on TikTok otherwise. I'm telling
yeah,
you that
yeah,
right now. Like, if it happens on TikTok, I have no clue. Like, none. I have no clue
yeah, well,
what's
yeah.
trending and what's not and whatever.
It also happens on like yeah, X/Twitter.
Again, not
So
on that unless it's for the podcast.
yeah.
So I'm not really branching outside
Mm.
of like our podcast's page or my podcast page. I'm not branching outside of that because honestly, X is a scary place. So
So
I just stick to like,
yeah.
yeah.
So the video I'm talking about is
Hmm.
I don't know if you ever heard this girl in Hakta.
Who?
Hakta.
No,
You never heard? Okay.
no,
It's base. Okay. Well, I don't know how to, you know, put a PG or, put it
it's
in a
fine.
way. Yeah.
We never claimed to be a PG podcast, so it's good.
It's basically the girl was asked a question based on, how do you please a guy?
Okay.
And basically, the girl responded with how to spin on that thing. So,
Okay. Okay.
uh,
I think I have
she,
heard about this.
yeah,
I think I've heard about this, yeah.
it got popular, it got
Hmm.
viral. This is and it's a slang that
Hmm.
it, she's using it as a slang. She's okay with it. She's very cool with it. She even's done a little mini documentary about herself with her real name attached to it. So there's
Okay.
also there's also like rumors that she's making a sauce out of it, which is pretty like it's a good idea to
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not saying it's not a good idea. I guess
Yeah.
I'm just confused only because like what she says, how does that then translate into a sauce? You know what I mean? Like I'm such a literal person that
Mhm.
when you say like this play on words to what
Mhm.
you're saying,
So
and then you're gonna make that into a,
mhm.
you're gonna use that anyways
I,
to build upon your brand. And using it as like food. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
it's choice,
yeah,
but okay.
be- because it's Because it's ooh, okay. Well, a spit is basically um liquid, so I'm guessing
Yeah, but it's
sauce is
fit.
kind of
It's
yeah,
fit versus
yeah,
the
I know.
thing that you put on
So
your
it's like
food and you
yeah,
eat. You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah, like
yeah, that's what I mean.
it comes out of a jar. The way how you spit,
No.
like it's just
Oh, Jesus Christ.
and
Okay.
yeah, you hear
All
like
right.
yeah, that's basically it.
That's
I think
weird.
yeah,
I mean, you know what? I respect the hustle,
yeah,
but it's weird.
yeah. So
That's all I'm
like
saying.
yeah, basically it's. I think that's the subliminal what she was trying to get at with like
Oh yeah,
all
no, no,
things
it
like
definitely is subliminal, but it's
yeah,
just interesting choice. That's all.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, I
why
know.
wouldn't like if you're using something like that,
Yeah.
right? Why not stick to like something a little more on the sex side of things? You know what I mean? Like we're going off on a tangent now,
I y-
but like why not
y-
kind of use that as like you could brand like a lubricant or something, kind of
mhm.
like using that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
that would have
yeah.
made more sense than
Yeah, I would.
sauce.
I I think that's where she's going with the sauce. I think she's probably naming the sauce in those types of ways, like those like, sexual type of ways. But like
That's
that's
weird. Unless you're using the
that
sauce for sex play, that seems, I mean, you could
we
if you want to.
could, but like
You could if you want to.
basically usually the person that either uses the sauce is a man. Like when it comes to like, sauces, a man usually like barbecues or, their food
Hmm.
and put them on the grill or put them on in the barbecue or put them, and uses a special sauce onto certain like, burgers
It's
and
still not
whatnot.
making it
But
sound better.
I know, but
I just confused by the
even put it
choice.
on hot dogs, that even makes sense. So
Oh,
like
so
I'm
could see that. Yeah, again, though. Now we're just using
yeah.
penis-shaped
Yeah,
food.
yeah,
But
that
anyways,
kind of makes sense. But anyway,
well,
yeah,
again,
well,
respect the hustle. I just
yeah, yeah, yeah,
choices.
yeah,
Choices
yeah,
were made. But
yeah,
anyways,
yeah. Going back to slang,
let's come back to slang.
yeah.
So, okay, at least for now, we have 13 slang terms that are currently being used by Gen Z in 2024, and we're kind of going to talk about what they mean. So, I'm sure if we have some Gen Z listeners, you probably know millennials, maybe you know some of them. We'll kind of go through this. We can make it fun. I can say the slang word, and we can see if Mikel can guess. We haven't done trivia in a bit. Well, I
Yeah.
guess technically from when we're actually getting this. Well, yeah, it's been a couple of months or so since people have heard us do trivia. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So when someone says for the plot, what do you think that means, Mikel?
Yes. Or plot.
Mm-hmm.
In like the story.
Pretty close, yeah. So, saying for the plot is a fun way for Gen Z to encourage each other to do the crazy fun things that make storytelling fun when you're
Mm.
older. So,
Or
Urban Dictionary defines for the plot as the conscious decision to see yourself as the main character of the story that is your life, adding, you maintain the outlook that every moment, good or bad, is merely a plot point for your larger narrative. So, I like that.
mm, I never heard of that term. Maybe it's around the schools that not
Maybe.
is elementary and high school. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So an example of like how you kind of use this like whether you swipe right on Tinder or go out
Mhm.
spontaneously on a Tuesday night, it's all about the plot. So there you go. Um, so this should be easy enough. Even I know this. What does Riz mean?
Oh, I heard that word being thrown around.
Do you know what it means?
Yeah. Is it
Okay.
RIZZ?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Means that you're trying to get at a significant partner or,
Not quite.
or, uh,
Not quite. Not quite. So technically Riz is short formed for what word is it? Shoot, I used to know what word it was short form for. But anyways, do you want me to just tell you?
Yeah, yeah, just
Okay.
yeah,
So
because I have to know what it
a person with Riz is someone who's confident, charming, generally successful in romantic endeavors. So it's basically you just like you have
is.
charisma. That's what it is. Charisma. It's short for charisma.
Yeah,
So that's what
that makes
that
sense.
means. Yeah. Um, if someone says, I got the ick, you know what that means?
I heard of it, but I don't know what that
Really?
means.
Oh,
I got
even
the
I
egg.
didn't say
Is it
that.
I got the egg? Like means you're sick?
No, when you say you have the ick, it means that like something like turns you off and you can't look past it.
Um, yeah, I heard that term before. I just didn't know uh,
Yep.
how how mostly the women use it. Not
Yeah,
the
it's usually a lot of
yeah
women use it
yeah
when you know, like, I mean, for like I'm in a relationship, obviously, so
yeah
nothing with him at this point gives me the ick.
yeah
But like
exactly.
when you have like if you're talking to someone new,
Mm,
and you get like the ick,
yeah.
you're turned off by that person, and you're you can't really look back from that. Um, I mean, usually again, back up again. It's been a while since I've actually dated,
Mm-hmm.
like in that sense. You would just say, I'm turned off.
Mm-hmm.
It's a no for me, you know, kind of thing. But
Yeah, yeah.
um, so this kind of a little bit of a deep dive on the ick. The term first gained widespread popularity years ago after the Love Island contestant Olivia Atwood, spelled Attwood, used it during season 3, but the ick remains a staple in Gen Z's vocabulary. If someone gives you the ick, it means they've turned you off, either through their actions or behaviors or something they said. BI reported icks could come from actions as small as using the wrong emoji in conversation to as large as treating a service industry worker poorly. I don't care what kind of emoji you use, but I guess when it comes to emoji use, like for example, I guess if like again in a relationship, so I don't quite go through this anymore, but if someone's like probably sending like an eggplant emoji and it's completely unwarranted, that would probably give me the ick. Like kind of situation. So I guess I
Yeah,
can kind of understand from that perspective.
yeah, I see what you're saying about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, next one. What does it mean if you say something lives like rent free in your mind?
Yeah. You- you're thinking about that person every single day and time. Um, yeah, that's how I got. I know I heard that term so many times
Hmm.
on on X Twitter, and also Reddit, and
Hmm.
yeah, that's what it means.
Yeah. So do a little deeper. So that term, they're taking up so much space in your mind that they might as well be paying rent. So, though often associated with people like a crush or a celebrity, the phrase can also apply to events. For example, someone may say Baychella, Beyonce's iconic 2018 Coachella performance, lives rent free in their mind. Not me, but we won't get into it. So, next thing,
Yeah, I actually like that.
um,
That term's
rent
pretty
free. Yeah.
yeah, pretty yeah,
This particular slang, I'm just going to just read it because it's um, probably something you're not going to necessarily guess. And it also has
Mhm.
significance in the LGBTQ plus community. So I'm just going to read as is. So, mother is a popular term of endearment for female celebrities that originated in the LGBTQ plus communities. The New York Times reported last year that the term came from the Black and Latino LGBTQ plus ballroom scene, quote, a queer subculture in which members are organized into so-called houses, often led by a quote unquote mother. Mother is a woman deserving of your respect who's had a profound influence on your life. But
Yeah.
who is quote unquote mother depends on whom you ask. For some, it's Diana Ross. For others, it could be Rihanna. The internet would argue it's also Renee Rapp, never heard of her. Mariah Carey, I would disagree.
Hmm.
Um, but Michaela J. Rodriguez played a house mother in the groundbreaking series Pose and told the New York Times that, quote, anyone should be able to use a term that is trending, but that it's important to know where it came from. The boundaries are knowing where it came from, always letting the world know where the culture came from. That's what she had to say about that. And we did talk about, um, got her name. I'm blanking. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah, I heard that term around actually wrestling, basically.
Really?
Uh, yeah. So you remember a diva named Trish Stratus, right?
Sounds
She
familiar.
was she was a judge on X,
Hmm.
X Factor. I think it was X Factor with what's her name? What's his name?
Yeah, Simon Cowell.
Yeah, Sam Cowell. Sam Cowell.
Hmm.
Yeah, he was a judge on there. Uh, because she's been so long in the WWE, like since like the year 2000s, she's been an influence to like a lot of men because basically they had her posters all over her, on their walls and every single thing. She calls them, now that she's like, influenced a lot of that in the past, in the future, etc. She calls herself mother because she feels like, like she influenced a lot of women into the WWE.
Hmm.
And a lot of women look up to her. So yeah, they
Yeah,
call mother in a way. So that's what I heard that term. I was like, oh, that term is I kind of understand that term in a way. So
yeah. But again, to make sure that we're understanding that this is a term that originates from the LGBTQ plus
yeah,
community.
yeah, yeah. But
No, no,
I
no,
heard
no, no, no.
that
I'm not
yeah,
saying that because I
yeah,
remember the name now because I was trying to remember her name. We
yeah,
did talk about one of who would have been classified as like a mother, and that was Marsha P. Johnson. We did talk about her in the Pride
yeah,
bonus episodes.
yeah,
She was considered like a mother as well. Um, in the 90s, before obviously she passed or she was murdered. So that's the first time I heard the term was when I had learned about Marsha P. Johnson. That was the first time I heard the term. And I thought it was great. So yeah, I think it's okay to definitely use that term. And this is not the only term that has kind of been, taken from a community um, and being used in today's slang. It's just again being just making sure you know where it comes from. Um, and that
mhm,
you're also using it correctly as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to the fun. So if a person, quote unquote, ate, they executed something flawlessly. So I didn't give you a chance to say what you thought it was, but that's basically what ate is, because I didn't think you'd probably get that because I sure as heck wouldn't have. So it's often associated with fashion and beauty, saying someone ate is a way of expressing they look amazing and did a great job. Um, so if you look at almost any picture of Zendaya on the red carpet, for example, it would be okay to say that she ate. Um, kind
Oh,
of can,
oh. I know what that is. Yeah, I
oh
seen that.
yeah, I've never heard of it prior to reading this. Kind of sticking to the trend of, I guess, eating type thing. Left no crumbs.
Yeah,
Do you know what that, have you heard that one too? I'm so out of touch. This basically means it's a continuation of ate that's used as an additional emphasis. So if you hear she ate, again, we're talking about that. But then if you hear alongside that and left no crumbs immediately after, the additional phrase helps emphasize how perfect the person's execution was. though it can be used on its own as well. For example, Blake Lively ate and then left no crumbs at the 2022 Met Gala. That means she executed the theme perfectly. Everything from her dress to her glam to the presentation on the red carpet was flawless, and her dress is beautiful. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. Um, okay, here's another one. Bussin' or bus.
Oh, heard that one
And what do you think
too.
it means?
If something's really good or
Yeah,
something's really fantastic, or
yeah,
that's what it means.
yeah. This is a term my brother uses.
Yeah.
Definitely. And the first time he said that, both me and mom were like, what? So yeah. Often used to describe food, bussin' is a word that originated in the Black community. It means extremely good or delicious, per Merriam-Webster. So if your kid says dinner tonight was bussin', that's kind of what my brother did, just know you did a good job. So if you hear someone say it's mid, do you know?
Eh, it's all right, but it could do better. That's
Basically, I feel like that's the equivalent of like what we used to say when you be like,
it's mediocre.
eh, eh. Like, it wasn't a word, it was just eh.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah,
it's mediocre. That's what it means.
yeah, yeah. Basically, it falls short of expectations. So, whether it's a dress on the red carpet, a new TV show, or a pasta recipe, something that's mid is, like Mikel said, mediocre. BI reported that Kaylee, I think her name is Kukos. She's the one there from Big Bang Theory, that one. 2024 Critics' Choice Awards gown missed the mark. She looked it, yeah. Um, so it could also be described as mid. Um, what else do we got? So when you say lock in, do you know what that one is?
Wait, walk in.
Lock, Lock.
Oh
Lock.
yeah, you're focused.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay. So I guess me continuously saying a phrase from Karate Kid, the new version, at this point is probably, I'm really old. But anyways, um, but yes, it does mean, staying focused. So you can lock in on an assignment, cleaning your apartment, or even a video game. That's, yeah. Let him cook.
Oh yeah,
I
I heard
feel,
that so many times.
yeah, I feel like this is kind of maybe a
Yeah,
sports thing as well, based on the
that
picture I see associated with it.
or when it comes to someone saying a speech,
Mhm.
let him talk. He's saying something correct.
We'll let him cook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that could be used in that phase too. So like when you hear somebody saying some type of factual, you just like, yeah, let him cook. Then he continues to to talk, and then boom, that's what it
Okay.
is. Yeah,
Well, yeah, let him cook means, don't stop him from doing his thing, basically,
yeah.
like Mikel kind of said. While um, I think North Carolina State ultimately lost to Purdue in the Final Four, DJ Burns Jr. was a standout in the 2024 March Madness tournament. I know nothing. Let me read. His coaches clearly saw how impactful his performance was in their tournament run and decided to, quote, let him cook, upping his average minutes from 24.8 a game in the regular season to 28.2 in their 5 games of the tournament per ESPN. So, great. Again, I think this is a really easy one that I have definitely adapted in the last little bit. I think the first time I heard the term was actually while recording Love is Blind with Sharon, and that is Delulu. Have you heard that one?
Yeah, I heard that one. I
Yeah,
use that one
I've
often.
definitely
I
been starting to use Delulu.
I don't know
Yeah,
why,
because some
but
people are Delulu, that's the thing. And it's just so much easier than saying delusional. So why not just say Delulu? There you go. Um, so yes, as we've already established, Gen Z loves abbreviations. Delulu just simply means delusional. So Rap, R-A-P-P, a 24-year-old Gen Zer, famously told the Today Show last year that what gave her confidence was delusion. She followed up on her comments in Gem magazine this year, saying, quote, "It's so interesting because I feel like delusion is cute now. It, delusion is never cute. It's never cute. Let's continue. Delusion is becoming slay. No, it's not. That's a lie. It's very funny and silly. I don't get it." She continues on to say, "It's just a weird innate belief in myself and a real hunger to do something that I love so much. So I think delusion is like my little BFF. It got me where I am right now." So I'm confused because she definitely makes it seem like Delulu it's like could be a positive. Mind you, I've only ever heard Delulu used in a negative way. So, but whatever floats your boat, go for it.
Never heard it in a positive way.
Never heard it in a positive way. It's weird. But whatever makes her go through life. Sus. Again, I think this is an easy one. When you say sus.
Yes, I heard that. I've heard that term. It could be in two ways.
Two?
Yeah, yeah.
I
Because
only
like
heard one.
it, like back in the day, it was using the term, in the way that if you were like uh homo or slightly homo or close to homo or something
Okay.
like
Okay.
that. We would say that's sus.
I've
Or, like,
never
yeah,
heard sus used in that way.
you'll see something that's like a little homo, and it'll be like you're acting a little sus.
Yeah, no, I've never heard sus in that sense because I feel like,
It started.
especially in today's, because
Yeah,
sus is something that's more newer. It's something that wasn't said before. But saying like, no homo or the hell, it's just something we just don't do anymore. But we shouldn't be doing anymore. Um,
it was kind of a replacement towards that because you couldn't say that no homo anymore. But
right.
sus was like the word, but it turned into something else. I don't know if it's different. You said there's
Well, sus
another version.
does sus mean simply suspicious? So I guess
That too. Yeah.
you just use suspicious whatever way if you think something's suspicious,
Mhm.
then it can be used in that sense. I didn't know that's what you're saying. Like you could say it's this
Yeah.
like example, but sus just simply just means suspicious. Um, so as an example, we were just talking about Live is Blind a second ago, so we're gonna go back to it again. So Live is Blind fans note that Sarah and Jeremy, because he's not gonna be called Jeremy because he's an asshole, his behavior on season 6 was sus to that's
Yeah.
just keeping it lightly.
Yeah.
Like Chelsea, if you remember, Chelsea said in the reunion who really stays out talking to someone who's not their fiance until 5 a.m. Well, that's just sus. Um, and can you really trust someone who lies about their location even after they've shared it? Don't think so. So that's sus.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
your example for that.
Yeah.
And
It turned into that one. Yeah.
yeah, were you up on? I mean, there was a lot of crap going around about Love Is Blind last season of Love Is Blind. A
No,
lot.
I seen a clip and that was it.
Listen, the whole cast is sus, okay?
Yeah.
The whole cast of season 6 was nothing but sus.
Mhm.
You had that, you had people coming on here with girlfriends and stuff, and yeah, it was an absolute shit show. Anyways, that's it for the slang. Definitely have fun with that. But let's move on to the next topic, which is Marvel clearly going through maybe a little bit of a rough patch and having to lay some people off. So, yes, layoffs are occurring. This would have been a few months back at Marvel Entertainment in New York and Marvel Studios in Burbank. Around 15 people are being affected by this, so nothing crazy, but still enough to make the news, I guess. including junior level employees in production and development. The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed this. No further layoffs are anticipated beyond that one day of layoffs. Um, the layoffs come as Marvel refocuses its slate after a content boom as it ramped up to produce numerous films and TV shows a year to feed Disney Plus. So I'm not sure exactly what's coming up. Maybe Mikel, you know what's coming up, but I mean, if they're having things
Yeah.
coming up in the next little bit, um, I don't understand why they would lay people off, but like I feel like you need the people.
Yeah, Marvel's going through like, like this rough patch right
Hmm.
now. Like, shoving down content through people's throats.
Hmm.
That's probably the reason why. And the last series, you remember Secret Invasions? Do you remember that?
I didn't watch it, but I definitely heard of it.
Yeah, so that was the last uh terrible series that Marvel had.
Hmm.
And it was the GFX was terrible.
Hmm.
The 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 way how the story, etc., the TV series,
Hmm.
it wasn't good altogether. So I think this is one of the reasons why they, made this small round of layoffs to just not rush these TV shows, not rush these movies, and just like take their time and just like do them. So
Hmm.
that's why, and I think they probably overhired as well. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
potentially.
and paying a lot of these like these designers
Hmm.
could could put you into debt, could put you in
Yeah.
into situations.
And that's the thing too. Like we'll finish the article in a second, but that's the thing too. It's like if they've had like really bad series
Hmm.
and there has been a pretty huge gap between the last movie and this, the most recent movie. Again, we're recording this in August right now, so Deadpool has just come out. But there was a huge gap between movies, which I think was probably one of the largest gaps in
Hmm.
a long time for Marvel movie. Um, and if they're not doing well with the series that they're trying to do, and they don't
Hmm.
have these movies coming out to kind of like really help with the box office and um, help with obviously getting money back from making these movies,
Yeah.
then yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to end up in the hole if they can't figure it out, right? So this is what's
Yeah.
going to happen. You're going to have people being laid off.
Hmm.
Um, so it's not necessarily surprising. And yeah.
I mean, they're doing a better job with the last like well the presentations with the werewolf of, oh my god, what's that one with the, I think that came before Secret Visions, but like that's actually, if that came before Secret Vision, that's a bad example. Like right now they're cutting down like movies right now, so they're
Mhm.
either doing like 1 to 3 times a year. As you see, the Marvel Studios only released one movie, which is Deadpool, like you just
Right.
said.
Right.
And then next year they're releasing like, I think like three.
Because that's normal. That was normal
Yes,
for
that
them,
was
right?
normal at the time. Yeah, so like
Yeah,
they
like
really,
between Iron Man, like very
yeah,
first Iron Man,
yeah,
to Endgame,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
constant. You were going to the movie theater
yeah.
watching these Marvel movies like at least 2 or 3 times a year.
Hmm.
Obviously with COVID, it also didn't help things, but really and
Hmm.
truly with their at their peak,
Hmm.
Endgame had already come out, like
Yeah,
I think the June before, like June or
yeah,
whatever, June
yeah.
2019. So they had already they were at their peak, and
Hmm.
then like they slowly were coming back down. So, and again, with like Deadpool, people have been anticipating Deadpool again. I haven't seen it yet. Planning to see it actually this
Really
week.
good. Really good. I
I'm
can't say
excited.
much, but
Yeah,
it's really
my brother has pre-op on Wednesday,
good.
and to kind of, encourage him to get out the house because we
Mhm.
have to be there early.
Yeah.
We're gonna go see Deadpool later. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed we can
So
actually get that done. But like Deadpool, it took them so long to get Deadpool done too. It's just like,
yeah, it took some time. Yeah. That's what
yeah,
they should be doing, taking time with these
it took a
movies.
long time for
Yeah.
Deadpool. Now, I
I
don't know if that's just availability of the actors or what, but it's just like,
it's
come on.
more so like a transition because like they bought Fox, right? Disney bought Fox and Fox owned Deadpool. They like
Right.
owned I
Yeah.
think the rights to Deadpool because
Yeah, I know the first
yeah,
movie wasn't under like the
Marvel.
Marvel umbrella, kind of like
Yeah.
with Spider-Man initially as well.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
didn't own the rights to Spider-Man. So
Yeah.
it until the most recent
Mhm.
um Peter Parker. Um so yeah, it I understand that. But the second movie, they already own the rights to Deadpool at that point, didn't they?
No,
They
that was
didn't?
Fox. Fox,
It was
and then
still under
I think they
Fox's.
did it. I
Okay.
think they were testing the waters, the PG version of Deadpool,
Oh no, that's
uh,
not gonna work.
because I think they were using that character because like they're looking to use Deadpool the character
Hmm.
into like future like collaboration films where
Hmm.
most likely another film will become PG, so
Hmm.
he can fit into a character. So like say like someone like a Thor who has PG movies in the past, right?
Hmm.
And you have a character like Deadpool.
Hmm.
So like you gotta fit him in somehow, that
Hmm.
you can say it's Squidward, but like in a way that it doesn't come off as like, direct, like
Well,
you
it's not
hear it.
even just the
And
swearing. It's
yeah,
also like,
or yeah,
when he's
or
attacking people
yeah,
and stuff like that,
yeah,
right? It's a lot more graphic
yeah,
than you get in
graphic,
the
yeah,
other Marvel
yeah, yeah,
movies. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So like that's why they did a PG version of that. I think it was like I don't remember what was it uh it's Once Upon a Deadpool or something like that. It was
Hmm.
like a PG version of the sequel, the second, and they were just
Hmm.
telling the story of Deadpool 2. Do you remember the movie? Oh my God. And he had a mask on his head, black
That
mask.
doesn't help.
Zero. It was a zero lookalike. I can't remember. It was
What?
okay. It's a guy in a black mask, right?
Okay.
And um and then Andre the Giant was a part of the film as well. I can't remember what the film was. Oh my God. Someone will know out there. But
I don't know what you're talking. When I hear Black Mask, all I think is Black Panther, so that's not it.
no, that's
No,
not it.
so
I gotta look at Andre the Giant's discograph here to see which film that is uh because I know it started with something. Princess Bride. There we go. There we go. That's what it is.
Princess Bride. Okay.
Yeah. You hear that from?
That's an older film.
Yeah, and then the father, the grandfather tells the story.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the way how they did it with Deadpool, like
Okay.
the PG version of Deadpool.
Okay.
But Deadpool's basically telling the story to the adult, which is funny.
Right.
So he's telling the story of Deadpool 2 to the adult and how it went, did this and that, but it's PG version.
Okay.
That's how they did the
I mean, I
testing.
feel like if they were to ever do collaboration with Deadpool with other people in the
Other characters, yeah.
MCU,
Yeah.
they can. I think
They-
that can still be something that they can do, tone it
Yeah.
down, but still
Yeah.
do the R-rated movies for
Yeah.
his own movies,
Oh yeah,
Uh,
no,
right?
definitely. They were
Yeah,
just
I think that transition it wouldn't be difficult. Deadpool is
yeah,
pretty beloved,
yeah,
in the MCU, so it's just I don't see like if they were to do other collaborations with other people, that wouldn't work out. I think that would work out,
Yeah, it would.
and still keep true to
Yeah,
movies. Yeah,
I think they were just trying to test, like, test see how the character would work out in,
yeah,
this
yeah,
moment. Yeah.
yeah.
So like,
That
yeah.
makes sense.
So basically, that's what they did, and then it took them like I don't know, it took them like a couple more years for them to like paperwork to get together to get to everything, and then boom, they I think Kevin Feige met with like Ryan Reynolds and about the film, how it's going to come together, etc. And then fast forward like now,
Mm.
the film's here, etc. And the film is great. And then there's going to be like three more films. Captain America. People have some little bit issues with
Captain
that.
America.
Yeah, Captain America. There's a new film with Sam. You remember Sam Falcon? Sam. He turned into.
Oh, so he's
He's
taken
Captain.
over.
Yeah, that's
I
Captain
don't know
America.
how I feel about him being called Captain
He's
America though.
Captain America in the comics as well. So
Understood,
yeah,
but
so like
that'll
he's
be an adjustment for me because
yeah,
I like the comics are not something
yeah, I know,
I've
I know.
been a part of or looked at, but
Yeah,
yeah, like
yeah,
I'm not, I know that, but
yeah.
yeah,
And if you watch the series, oh, it's called um, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I haven't.
Yeah, yeah,
I have so much I need to go back and watch.
yeah, yeah.
I still haven't seen Ant-Man because like I haven't seen the other stuff that would make like that makes sense. And yeah, I'm so behind.
That's the
So
reason why
behind.
they kind of laid off a couple of people. Just,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
like, yeah, they have that. Oh yeah, I forgot Venom's coming next
Oh,
this year.
yes, I heard about
This
that,
year.
and I'm excited for that.
That's Sony though. That's not Marvel Studios.
Yeah, no, Venom is.
So
I love
yeah,
Venom.
yeah. So
Yeah,
like,
Venom is so good.
but yeah, going on to back to next year. I think it's Captain America. I also think it's oh my god, I had to like look at my list, but like yeah, there's three films coming for Marvel Studios, and then after that they're looking to like the big event, Secret not Secret Wars, but Doom Avengers Doomsday. And if you heard, if
I
you see,
heard. I heard. My brother came to me and he's like,
RDJ,
did you hear who's playing Doctor Doom? And I'm like,
yeah,
no. And
love
then
it,
he's like, search it up. And I'm like, okay. And then I searched it up. And then
yeah,
afterwards, I'm like, in case someone else knows, we won't spoil it. But when I searched it up, I was like,
yeah,
how's that gonna work? That's
because
weird. But I'm
my
here for
theory,
it.
my theory is that he becomes like this mad scientist in the lab fixing up the
But
Iron Man.
how? He died.
I
Spoiler
no,
alert.
it's a multiverse story. You got to look at it as a
Oh, I
multiverse.
see.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're
Okay.
in the multiverse saga, so
Got it.
everything
Okay.
like
So he died in one multiverse, but
yes,
technically, and with this
this is
one,
he's
this
another
one.
Iron Man. He's a variant of another Iron Man.
Listen. Honestly, I don't care.
Yeah,
Robert Downey Jr. is coming back. That's all I care
yeah,
about. All I
yeah,
care about. I'm confused, but I'm
yeah.
here for it.
Yeah, it's a multiverse story. So they're like in see the first saga was Infinity War. This
Mhm.
is the multiverse saga that we're still in, and then
Got it.
the third phase that we're going in is probably the mutant saga,
Mhm.
where they're slowly going into that. They're bringing the X-Men, but
Mhm.
they're going to be there. So
Yeah.
and yeah,
No, I know. I'm here for it because, again, like the reason I fell in love with this universe was because of Iron Man
yeah,
and because of Robert Downey Jr. So
yeah,
I'm really excited
yeah. I'm
that
really
he's coming
excited
back.
for it too because I want to see Tom Holland Spider-Man, see him and see his
Oh
mentor.
man,
That would
yeah,
be
because I mean, who took it hard? Not the hardest was him. Yeah,
during Infinity War. During Endgame, yeah, he took it the hardest during Endgame.
yeah.
Yeah. So and then Fantastic Four. comes
Mm,
out so much.
not my, never was a fan of the Fantastic
Really?
Four. Yeah, no, never got into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no, never got into
yeah,
it.
yeah,
But yeah, so let's just finish up the this real quick. So
yeah,
the layouts come as okay, I think it's at that part. So as part of the pullback, the studio has just one film opening this year, as we talked about Deadpool, and it's
yeah,
expected to have just two live action TV shows this year.
yeah.
And this was said by actually no, it wasn't said by anybody, sorry. Disney CEO Bob Iger telegraphed in recent months that he expected Disney as a whole to lower its output and refocus on
Mhm.
quality projects after several misses at the box office. He said, quote, "We've reduced output, particularly at Marvel. When you fix or when you address these issues with in movies, you do three things. You get aggressive at making sure the films you're making can be even better.
Mhm.
Sometimes you kill projects you don't believe in. And of course, you put new things in the pipeline that you do believe in and that you have much confidence in. And we're doing all of that." The moves come after the busiest time in Marvel's history, an era that saw diminishing returns on some of its projects. In 2021, it released 4 films and 5 TV shows, while in 2022, it put out 3 films and 3 TV shows, plus a few specials. The pullback has already felt in 2023 with 3 films and 3 TV shows.
See, Bob Iger wasn't there during COVID. He
No,
wasn't one. He wasn't the CEO. So the CEO was
right.
telling Kevin Feige he wanted more. He wanted more
Well,
content.
Marvel was their
So
biggest, I would imagine it was probably one of their
yes,
biggest
yeah,
contributors, right? So
yeah,
I can understand saying give us more, especially
yeah,
during COVID, because
yeah,
everyone's at home,
yeah,
right? Nothing else to do. So get those shows out there, get
yeah,
the stuff out there.
yeah,
And a lot of those things were well received at the time,
yeah,
right? But then if you I guess if you do too much, eventually you're gonna hit some walls,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
And
I definitely understand at the time putting so much content out there. Um, the same thing with like for those people who are part of like who watch the 90 anything 90 universe. Same thing. They did the exact same thing. We were like, well, what are they gonna do? Because people have to travel. Clearly travel is being halted right now due to COVID. Oh
exactly.
no, they were good. They've been good. They're like, oh, we got content that's gonna last like 10 years. We're fine. And they weren't kidding.
They
you
still
know?
this. I feel like Marvel still has a lot of content they need to put
Hmm.
out for the next 100 years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the comics,
Well,
there's
yeah,
still there's
yeah,
stories. Yeah.
yeah. I think Marvel Studios is going to be around for a
Yeah.
long time, and they're going to be putting
Yeah.
stuff out there for a long
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Uh, um. So the layoffs were also partially due to efficiencies created when Disney folded the consumer products focused on Marvel Entertainment into Disney's larger business units. That move included parting ways last year with longtime chairman Ike Perlmutter.
that's
Okay,
the
nice name.
yeah.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's
I mean
basically it on Marvel.
it's good that they're cutting down to because I kind of want them to cut down to certain movies
Hmm.
and shows at the same time. So this that
Refocus. I think they maybe just need to
yeah,
refocus a little bit.
yeah.
Um, I mean, it's unfortunate for those people who had to lose a job.
Hmm.
But at least it's not like massive amount of people. It's 15 people, and it looks like a lot of them, like they're saying a good chunk of those 15 people were junior employees. So probably ones are
Mm-hmm.
not being paid as much as maybe a senior employee. So
Hmm.
it's I don't think it's like anything we have to necessarily worry about too much, but they're just in my based on the kind of the number of people who've been laid off,
Hmm.
it seems more like maybe restructuring more than anything. I
Yeah,
don't think we have to worry too much.
that's true. I agree.
All right. So the next and the last topic is talking about this gold heist that happened here in Ontario. Kind of, well, the time this comes out, it's a few months back. But even the time that we're recording this, it was still even a few months back from that point that this kind of was starting to unfold.
Mhm.
And Mikel doesn't know much about this, so he's going to hear
Mhm.
something new. So
I don't blame
Peel, yeah. So
you.
basically, just to kind of give the, I don't know a whole lot because I wasn't really reading much on a lot, but I'm like, this is when I saw that they made an arrest, I'm like, okay, this is interesting because they actually caught like somebody involved
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
So there was a gold heist that happened that involved people trying to smuggle gold. Either I believe it was in, and it was smuggled in through Air Canada Airline. So it was like, yeah, it's kind of this big topic, huge story. I think there were some Air Canada employees that were involved as well, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's kind of just like the quick synopsis that I can kind of spin out of my head here as to kind of what happened. So, Peel Regional Police investigators say they have made arrests in connection to the more than $20 million gold heist at Toronto Pearson International Airport. The arrests come a year after the alleged theft, which occurred the evening of April 17th, 2023. At the time, police said a cargo container holding gold and other goods were stolen from the airport's holding cargo facility. Police say they will announce the results of Project 24K at 8:30 a.m. This would have been a few weeks ago. Maybe I'll try to gather up an update to that because I didn't gather an update for that at this point. But we'll see if I can figure out an update. But Pearson Airport is often used to transport gold mined in Canada. Didn't know we still had gold mines, but there you go. So it can be shipped to customers globally. The flight landed just before 4 p.m. on April 17th, 2023. Police have said the shipments believed to have been stored in a container roughly 5 to 6 square feet were deposited at an Air Canada warehouse at the airport 2 hours later. Last year, Brinks International, in case you don't know who doesn't live in Canada, Brink, or maybe Brinks is in the States too, I don't know, but Brinks is basically just a security company, and usually do like the really big stuff like this. So Brinks International sued Air Canada, alleging a suspect accessed the cargo facilities using a fraudulent document. The company alleged Air Canada employees failed to properly examine and authenticate the documents shared by an, quote, unidentified individual during the planned heist. Air Canada denied the allegations, of course I do, and claimed the company had not taken out insurance on the valuable cargo, which again, I don't understand how you, like, if you know that kind of money is sitting in your cargo container,
Right.
someone needs to get insurance on that. Like, that's huge. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
I agree.
yeah, I will see because again, this was probably a few months ago now. I'll see if there's an update and we can kind of update you when we do
Mhm.
our kind of year-end type episode, which will
Yeah.
probably be in a few weeks actually. So
Yeah.
we'll see if I can get an update. That's basically it. Quick on that, but yes, this
Okay.
is something that I kind of just saw in the news and kind of
Mm-hmm.
thinking there's no way how they're going to catch whoever was involved in this, and
Yeah.
they seem to have. So there you go.
Interesting. Yeah.
Peel Region police officers do it again. They seem to get the work done, honestly.
Exactly. Exactly.
Anyway.
Okay. So this ends the Next Take podcast. The Next Take podcast is available now on all podcast platforms. We also have a website called solo.to/Next Take podcast. Where else are we at, Tanyka?
We are on Facebook and Instagram at Next Take Podcast and Twitter and TikTok at Next Take Pod.
You can contact us at email at mikeltanika@gmail.com. That is mikeltanika@gmail.com. So we talked about a lot of things on this episode. So we talked about uh Marvel. We talked about as well as uh the first one,
The
I believe,
slang,
a slang,
Gen Z slang.
Gen Z slang and millennial slang. Pretty cool stuff that you learn about on that topic as well.
Mhm.
And also the gold heist in Peel region, right? Is that I believe?
Well, Mississauga is a part of Peel region, so yes.
Jesus, wow. Wow, Miss
Yeah,
Saga.
that's where the airport is. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah. Yeah, pretty good topics. I hope you guys enjoy the episode. Yeah, anything else you wanted to say, Tanika, before we just head out?
Um, well, no, we're still in the middle of our Halloween episode. So again, um, just as a reminder, if you want to watch the movies that's coming up for the next movie that's coming up actually this week, that will be the Fear Street trilogy. So you can, you know, take a
Yeah.
watch with those movies, see what I mean, again, I love the movies, but you can hear from Mikel and his take on the movies on that. But yeah, that's the only thing I'm gonna say is that's what we're gonna be covering on Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday, whenever the episode comes out. And you can watch the movies prior
Mhm.
to if you'd like. That's it.
All right. So enjoy.
Yeah.
So I'm Mikel, and
And I'm Tanika.
we're out until next week, guys. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.